The most dangerous cybercriminal may not be a hacker sitting behind a screen. It could be an automated system that can generate convincing scams, adapt its approach, and keep attacking without getting tired. That sounds like science fiction, but the building blocks are already here. Welcome to BlueHat Cybersec Academy. And today, let's explore a question that is becoming harder to ignore. What happens when cybercriminals start using AI, not just as a tool, but as an engine for running their operations? Because this isn't simply about AI writing a phishing email. It's about what happens when artificial intelligence starts reducing the human effort required across an entire attack. Cybercriminals have been using automation for years. Bots can scan systems, send phishing emails, test stolen credentials, and repeatedly target vulnerable services. But AI changes something important. It adds adaptability. Traditional automation usually follows predefined rules. If something happens, the system performs a specific action. AI-assisted systems can potentially analyze context and generate a different response based on what they encounter. For an attacker, that could mean creating highly personalized phishing messages, translating scams into different languages, changing the tone of a conversation, or generating new variations when an existing approach stops working. So remember this distinction. Automation scales an attack, while AI can make that automation more flexible. And flexibility is extremely valuable to criminals. Now, think about online fraud. A conventional criminal operation may require people to research potential victims, write messages, communicate with them, monitor responses, and organize stolen information. AI can assist with several of those tasks at the same time. It can help generate convincing text, summarize information about targets, support conversations, and produce large numbers of variations much faster than a human team could. That doesn't mean AI is independently running sophisticated criminal organizations. Human operators, stolen data, infrastructure, payment systems, and operational decisions still matter. But AI can reduce the amount of human effort required at different stages, and that creates a serious economic advantage. If an attack becomes cheaper to run, attackers can attempt it more often. So cybersecurity can't focus only on how technically sophisticated an individual attack looks. The bigger danger may be the sheer volume and speed of attacks. We're already seeing criminals experiment with AI for phishing, impersonation, fraud, malware development, and social engineering. Generative AI can produce convincing messages at scale. Voice cloning technology can make impersonation much more believable. Deepfake techniques can manipulate audio and video. Criminal groups are also exploring AI-enabled tools to increase productivity across existing operations. But let's challenge one common misconception. AI has not suddenly created an army of autonomous super hackers. Many successful attacks still depend on familiar weaknesses: reused passwords, excessive privileges, poor verification procedures, exposed systems, and, very often, people trusting a message that looks legitimate. The technology may be new. The vulnerabilities are not. And this leads to what may be the most important point. An AI system doesn't need to be smarter than a cybersecurity expert to become dangerous. It simply needs to make an attacker faster, cheaper, and more persistent. Imagine an attacker who previously had enough time to target 50 people. Now imagine AI-assisted tools allowing that same operator to target thousands. The attacker doesn't necessarily need a revolutionary hacking technique. Scale itself becomes the weapon, and defenders face the opposite problem. Every additional alert still needs investigation. Every compromised account still needs containment. Every suspicious transaction still needs evaluation. Every employee still has to decide whether an urgent request is genuine. That creates an uncomfortable imbalance. Attackers can potentially automate the generation of malicious activity. Defenders still have to determine what is actually dangerous. So what should defenders do? The answer isn't simply block AI. Organizations need to accept that convincing digital interactions are becoming cheaper to manufacture. That means using phishing-resistant authentication wherever possible, verifying unusual financial or account-related requests through a separate communication channel, limiting privileges, monitoring abnormal account behavior, and building detection around behavior rather than relying only on known attack signatures. Employees also need to be trained to question urgent, emotional, or unusually convincing requests. And organizations need clear procedures for identity verification incidents involving deepfakes, cloned voices, or manipulated media. Most importantly, AI-powered cybercrime should no longer be treated as a distant, futuristic problem. The technology is evolving quickly, but many defensive principles remain surprisingly practical. Now, let's turn this into a quick challenge for you. Imagine receiving a highly convincing voice message from your manager asking you to urgently transfer money. The voice sounds exactly like them. The request sounds reasonable. And the message includes information only your manager should seemingly know. What should you trust? The voice, the information, or an independent verification process? Put your answer in the comments. And here's another one. If AI allows one attacker to operate at the scale of dozens or potentially hundreds of people, what becomes more dangerous? A smarter attack or a much larger number of ordinary attacks? I'd like to know what you think. Because the first AI cybercriminals may not look like autonomous machines making decisions in a dark room. They may look much more ordinary, human criminals using AI to remove friction from almost every step of an operation. The future of cybercrime may not be defined by AI completely replacing hackers. It may be defined by one attacker gaining the operational capacity of many. So here's the final question I want you to think about. Will AI ultimately give attackers the bigger advantage, or will defenders learn to automate security faster than criminals automate attacks? Drop your answer in the comments. And if this conversation made you rethink what an AI-powered cyber attack could actually look like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe to BlueHat Cybersec Academy for more practical conversations at the intersection of AI and cybersecurity. Because the question isn't whether AI will change cybercrime. It already has. The real question is, how much autonomy are we willing to let attackers achieve before our defenses catch up?